Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Manchester United podcast. Today's topic is going to be more focused on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what Ole has to do to continue to build momentum and, of course, turn it around. As you guys already know, there's a lot of divide in the fan base. A lot of people still Ole out, me included, of course. Man, after that Spurs game, I had enough. But
Wait. Is that when you turned? Was it the Spurs game? You was like, I've had enough.
I had enough, bro. I said it on the watch along. In fact, I didn't do the watch along. I've never been so grateful to be ill in my life because obviously I didn't watch my each game. But for that Spurs game, I was like, no, I'm ill, so I'm going to allow it. It's the first one I missed it. God knows how many games. And we got absolutely hammered, so I'm just like, yes, get it. Well, not yes, we got hammered, but yes, I didn't have to go watch along. But everyone keeps asking me, Usmaan, are you Ole in at the moment? Obviously, I'm flipping not. 2 games are going to change that. We're going to go through that, of course. Individual performances, the approach to the Chelsea game on Saturday, and just general chat regarding the club. We are joined by Adam and Flores. How we doing, boys?
Yeah, sweet, mate. Sweet after Tuesday night.
Yeah, exactly that. Blessed for having me on as always. And man, even better after that. After you get me that night in Paris. Woo! Let's go.
Yes, 2.0, man said rewind that shit, innit?
Yeah, man, 2.0, man. It's the sequel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Rashford again, man, but fair play to him.
It's the sequel, man.
Yes, listen, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the third time as well when they come to Old Trafford, hopefully do it one more time. But as always, make sure you show love to the boys. Their socials are down below. Go show them love and make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We've already got the homie here, Bits and Bobs, saying evening. Also shout out to him for making his debut on the match preview. We'll check that out later. I'm assuming that was mad, like 4 Chelsea fans and 4 Man United fans. I can imagine it was rowdy, to say the least. But listen, let's get straight into it. Adam, we'll start with you first and foremost regarding our performance on Tuesday. Just your general sort of consensus, like your sort of feeling towards the club, because after that Spurs game, for me personally, that's probably the lowest I've been as a fan after that Spurs game, because we've lost 6-1 sadly before to the noisy neighbours, but this one just felt different because I don't rate Spurs in the slightest. So that was the lowest moment for me since Fergie's left. But how you feeling at the moment off the back of 2 very good wins, really?
Excellent wins, mate. Excellent wins. I'm still pissed off that it took a 6-1 defeat to bring us out of our shells, to actually give us a kick up the arse, to be honest. But no, you can't complain, mate. We deserved to win both games, and that's what you've not been able to say with a lot of United victories over the past. We've scraped by, we've just about got through, but even though the scoreline was 2-1 against Paris, it was, for me, more than deserved. I thought that was the first time I've seen a formation and a plan that I knew what was happening. I could see what was happening, I could see people's roles, I knew exactly what they were doing. And it was a breath of fresh air, mate. It really was. I was a bit sceptical at the starting lineup. I thought we should have had Van der Beek or Pogba mixed in that midfield role. But I did also not think and expect Fred to step up like he did to another level. He was my man of the match, Fred.
Yes,
he was. I've just never seen a more accomplished performance from a player like Fred. He was mature beyond his years. He was calm, composed on the ball, knew when to play the pass as well as playing the pass well, tackling, interceptions, did his usual job, but added to it, mate, added to his game. And you know what? I was just all in all pleased because we had Telles making his debut, we had Axel coming back from injury. We looked like we were going to be absolutely tatered, mate. I mean, you said to me that defence is going to completely nullify.
Oh my God,
Mbappe.
I've not heard the word tated in a long time. That's why.
Yeah.
I love your language, man. I love your vocab. Adam.
That's it, mate. It's old school Mancunian. If anyone wants to know, I can do lessons on it if you want.
Take your bookings, lads. Links down below.
That's it. So we were mustard. How's that one? Is that one all right for you? Yeah, mustard.
That's great. Yeah, even better. Yeah, I mean, I remember this is bringing it back for me, being a Manc as well. Brings it back.
Mate, big time. Yeah, so I was saying it's like Teller's making his debut, Axel coming back from injury. You've got a front three of Mbappe, Di Maria and I'm forgetting his name now. The numpty from Brazil, Neymar. Yeah, that's it.
See, that's how bad he was that you forgot his name.
That's
how bad he was. He's still in
People said he didn't perform well, but you know what? It's taken away the defense's performance for me.
I think Neymar had a good game. Like he was.
I didn't think he was that good, mate. I really didn't think he was good.
He was 1v3 every single time he got the ball.
And you know what? You got to be able to deal with that. Ronaldo and Messi do, and that's the table that he wants to sit at. So if you want to be a Ballon d'Or, expect that every single game.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? This is why I think a lot of these players don't come to England, mate, and don't play in the Premier League because they're scared. They're scared that this is the brutality they're going to get. They're not going to get a Spider-Man Wan-Bissaka tackling from all angles. I think Mbappe would be a bigger success in the Premier League than what Neymar would. Honest opinion.
I agree with that. I think Mbappe would fly here. I think Neymar would do well.
Oh no, I'm not going to say. I think Neymar, he gets into any team in the league, doesn't he, Neymar?
Yeah, absolutely.
He drops into any team in the Premier League. So does Mbappe. I don't care what about Liverpool's forward line or anyone. They do. And that just shows what we did. I'm not having it. They were under par and they didn't play well. Our defence was just really good. It was the first time I've been confident. Were you boys ever worried in any point in that game?
Not in the slightest.
And that's how you can tell that we were organised and played well, because I wasn't fearing PSG.
There was no sustained pressure from them. Really.
There wasn't. We looked like the only team, and we were wasteful in the second half.
Yeah,
we could have been gone.
Yeah.
I said it. I said we need to be more clinical or we'll get punished here. And then Martial goes and has a blackout moment in mid-air, and they're back in the game, aren't they? It's one of them fluke goals. So, you know what? All in all, great performance against Newcastle in terms of controlling the game. And it's good to see De Gea back on form. It's good to see Bissaka back. Maguire had a good game against Newcastle. I remember Bissaka was just off the scale, brilliant. Axel coming back, you know what I mean? Rashford scoring again. Bruno doing Bruno, just sheer quality. And Fred, big shout out, big ups to Fred, man, because you know what? I was struggling to figure out where he was going to play in that team, but he stepped up for me. He stepped up for me on Tuesday, and that for me was massive. That was a massive game. I just hope Ollie plays him again. And if there is only one holding midfielder role, I'll give it to Fred at the moment. That's off the performance that he's just put in. And let's not forget, it was Fred and McTominay that did him back in 2019 too, wasn't it? So, you know, people said to me before, Fred only works when McTominay's next to him. So it will be interesting to see how he plays it and what formation he picks going forward now, because I think he's got a few more options now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of headaches, but exactly what Flora said yesterday's podcast as well, these are the kind of headaches he wants. At the end of the day, we need options, man. We need strength and depth. We're competing for 4 trophies, as we should be. We've got another fantastic comment from Akil, and I'll pass it to you, Flawless. We have looked a lot fitter after the international break. The PSG game in particular was a tactical masterclass from Oli. We changed the system as soon as we lost control in the second half, and it changed the game, which we mentioned yesterday. Just coming, some of his comments there regarding the performance. The last 2 games in particular have been very different to the start of the season. And again, these are only 2 games. We had that sort of period post-lockdown when we were flying against Sheffield United, against Bournemouth, and obviously Brighton. We beat them 3-0. There was another team we beat 3-0 as well. They weren't convincing, but we got over the line against them. Do you think it's just another one of those moments where we just have another purple patch, or do you potentially see some sort of change, Flawless, in the system, the way we're approaching the game? You're muted.
I'm not gonna get gassed like that because we've seen this before. Like, we've seen Manchester United go through these purple patches when we beat Spurs at home and City away, and everyone was getting excited. And then if I remember correctly, I think we drew to Everton and then lost to somebody else, like a Palace or Brighton or somebody, I can't remember. So that's why I'm going to enjoy these 2 victories, which I thoroughly have, thoroughly enjoyed them, and hope I am wrong when it comes to Oli, and that this is the change we've all been waiting for. This is the turnaround now. Like, Ollie's going to become the manager that Ollie and Brigade are talking about. Do I believe personally it will happen? No. But do I want to be wrong? Yes. So Let's see against Chelsea. I can see us getting a result against Chelsea through United. One thing about Ollie, in the big games, he normally delivers. So my issue isn't so much, all right, once we get through this tough period, what do you do after that? we can't just fall off again. Because I've always said this about Oli. He should be doing better with the players that he has. And you have even more at your disposal. Yes, the transfer window wasn't perfect. We all know this. But you still added to the first 11 with Telles. And we all seen the quality he's shown against PSG. And you've added to the bench with Cavani and Donny. Everyone was complaining about Manchester United's bench. We got no bench. We got no options off the bench. Look at the bench against PSG. Donny didn't even get on. We brought Paul Pogba on the pitch. Pogba came from the bench. Cavani wasn't in the squad. Greenwood wasn't in the squad. And we still had attacking options. So it's good. It's great to see that he has options, and hopefully this run can continue and we can pick up wins, because we seem to, I think I read a stat, I don't know how true it is, that Ollie's won his last 10 away matches.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. The first
So
time
that goes,
we've done that in our history.
yeah, so that goes to show. But yeah, our home form is terrible.
Bournemouth.
So hopefully we saw that. Yes, our home
Bournemouth
form
was
is
the
terrible.
last win.
And this is my biggest pet peeve with Ollie, is we don't win games back to back. I think only 4 times in his Manchester United career we've won consecutive games, and 3 of those times was twice. So only once have we won 3 games in a row. So we need to start kicking on. So hopefully we beat up Chelsea and we kick on and let's go, because no one else in the league looks like they're in great shakes, minus Everton.
Yeah, no, obviously the league is definitely wide open at the moment. I think every single football fan looking at a team thinking, if we can just get a couple of games together, or we can show up on the flag, potentially anything can happen this year. That's what it seems like. The Virgil van Dijk injury, let's be real, that has opened up the league. Although Fabinho was fantastic against Ajax yesterday. But just coming back to Man United, Adam, regarding the system change, I think he tried one formation obviously against Newcastle. I think that was more personnel change that made the difference rather than the system in particular. But in this game against PSG, the reason I was impressed personally was the fact that he mixed it up. Pogba came on, he went to a diamond. Then when we didn't have the ball, we went to a 4-3-1-2. We then played a flat 3, obviously containing the opposition. It seems like they've actually done something on the training ground for once, that you can actually see, as you said, what we've been working on. In terms of moving forward, what do you think the best system is for this? Would you go something similar against Chelsea, or do you think he needs to stick to the 4-2-3-1?
I don't like the 4-2-3-1 or 1-3, whichever you want to call it, with Bruno behind. I really don't like it. I just feel like we at the moment are defensively struggling. I just feel like the 5 at the back gives us more stability in terms of it makes our defence play better. It gives De Gea a bit more confidence. I don't know why that is, but it does, having 3 centre-backs to play with. Luke Shaw is miles better as a left-handed centre-back. And I just feel like it frees up the likes of Telles and Wan-Bissaka to do what they do and not need to be, if it makes sense, as disciplined in terms of the defensive role, because Aaron Wan-Bissaka had his best defensive performance that he's had in months, and he was playing as a wing back. Yeah. So you know what I mean. It's like people saying he needs to get back to concentrating on his defending. Well, he was playing as a wing back, and that was a midfield 5. That was barely a 5 at the back in that game, was it? They were that far forward. True. So I just feel like Wan-Bissaka plays better in it because he hasn't got the restrictions of worrying about playing forward, knowing that he's leaving something behind. Axel, breath of fresh air. He's an absolute beast. He has to play. It's going to come down to player selection, Usmaan, as well as formation. Definitely has got to. Let's be honest. If Maguire's fit, he plays. We know it. It's going to happen. We may not agree with it,
who do you think he's going to come in for? And
Lindelof. Simple as. I don't see. You cannot drop Axel now. After dealing with Mbappe. It's Mbappe. This isn't a Wilson. I know what you're going to say, Floyd. You've got to ease him back in. You've got to make sure he's right. But if we lose the game against Chelsea, Ollie's going to be hung again for not playing him. So, I think, you know what I mean?
It's one of them. I think you take, because he's been out 10 months, we play Axel, and then he gets injured. It's why did you start him? Blah, blah, blah.
Do you think Liverpool? Do you think Liverpool will ease?
Van Dijk.
They think they'll ease Virgil back in.
But Nah, we got a better defense though. We got man like Iceman, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw, and that. That's why we got these.
Man, Iceman's been melting.
Flawless is on the right. Flawless is on the right.
He's been melting. Someone's had a blowtorch up his ass, mate. I'm telling you.
Legit.
Well, no, I do agree. I think
on the floor, you know.
I'm a strong believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I understand the tweaks that can be made to this team. I really do understand the tweaks that can be made to it. I've got to find a place for Van der Beek, fellas. That's my issue at the moment.
You're like this then. Here's the place for Van der Beek. If we go with the same system, the same team.
In for Martial.
Yes, there you go. In for Martial, 210s, him and Bruno. I prefer Pogba in there, but Donny makes sense. If he goes with that makes sense. I'm not fussed whether he goes with the same team and then he replaces obviously Martial suspended and he puts Pogba or Donny in there.
One of them.
Maguire will come in.
It might matter, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
Maguire will come in, like I said, and if he did drop Axel,
would you be worried? Would you be worried with Mata, especially with like the wing backs like Reece James and Chilwell bombing forward? Mata gives us no cover.
I'm on about if you play 3-5-2.
This is it. No, not one manager, and I just said this on my show before. Not one United manager has played Mata in the right position.
Yeah,
ever.
It's weird, isn't it?
Not one of them.
Facts.
They just try and shoehorn him in. He's a player that we should never have bought, and I do believe he's played well for us. But at the time, it was a desperation buy because Moyes needed to keep face.
He could have been like literally one of the best.
And you know what? He could have been because, like I said, I think he was Chelsea's Player of the Year before he left. Chelsea built a team around him. They played him in the right position in the forward role in the middle. You know what? That's where he can play. But now you've got 3 players ahead of him for that role in Pogba, Bruno, and Van der Beek. That Ollie will always play ahead of him. And you know what? I still don't think Bruno's best position is the 10. I still think he's better at 8.
He's probably better as an 8. But the one thing with the 3-5-2 is you can play 2 10s.
No,
so Mata has more chance of getting in. You can play 2 10s.
And you've got the option. Yeah, you've got the option of the wing backs then, because you could throw in a Cavani late on with the width and the way Tellez throws balls in. He's rolling back the years to Antonio Valencia in his heyday. Man, that guy could dig out a cross, couldn't he, from the byline?
Yeah.
I've never seen balls like it.
Lukaku would have done well and Tellez, to be fair.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you.
Would have been eating it up. But listen, Benji,
it was set up for him.
Benji has finally joined us and we're live. Benji, nice to join us, mate. We're good. Brother, let's get your thoughts. Obviously, I've not spoken to you, actually. Since the game, we normally do a show after the game. Listen, what were your thoughts on the performance? And obviously, I know what you're going to say roughly, but how are you feeling? Coming into the Chelsea game, so to speak.
I'm not surprised by the PSG game. Really, I think anyone that watches PSG knows that you just mark 2 players out of the game and you basically won the game. You can't really expect Ander Herrera to create from deep. There's no variety, so there's literally really no ball players in that team. Their fullbacks are not really like world class. Are going to get on the overlap like Trent and Robson. So I just thought, you know what? Yeah, if Oli does play 3 at the back, it's like when he played against Man City. If you just nullify the threat from the wide, you're sorted. In terms of going to the Chelsea game, mate, it's up to Oli if he wants to win the game or not.
Would you regarding the system? Would you keep something similar to what we just done against PSG and
the 3 at the back?
Yeah.
I would. And obviously, what Adam and Flores are saying is true. I'll get rid of obviously Martial. If you're not going to play Greenwood up front, it has to be.
I don't think Greenwood's going to play. We'll touch upon Greenwood later. I'm pretty sure he's not going to.
If not, featured. I'll put what's his face? I'll put Van der Beek inside. Him and Bruno behind Rashford. Then have Fred and McTominay sitting. So that means Alex Tellez can do whatever he wants up and down the flank because you have 2 people sitting. Bruno and Van der Beek. Like how Chelsea had it under Conte with Hazard and Pedro had a free roll. I think that could work for us, to be fair.
Yeah, I to be honest, I think most United fans will want Van der Beek in there. I kind of said I said Dan James, and I know.
Hi, Usman. I know you enjoyed yourself after the PSG win. Clearly, you get me what I'm saying. You enjoyed yourself a bit too much, whatever you indulged in, to be saying Dan James should be anywhere near the first 11.
Drink alcohol in a Muslim.
Nah, that's why I said, yeah. I know you don't drink alcohol.
I'm just tapped.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know, one too many Cokes or whatever you drank, Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? Lil,
No,
whatever.
wait, it's flawless. Like it's Coke Zero.
Yeah,
Coke Zero.
It's like, carry on to the diamond. Don't knock me down like that. But listen,
Coke Zero then.
To be honest, now that I've heard what you guys have said, to be honest, I probably would put Matter in over Van de Beek, actually. The only reason being is because Matter against Newcastle was absolutely world class. Like, he's just, I can just imagine him, Bruno, behind Rashford would be beautiful. And not to say Van de Beek can't do that. I'm not saying he can't, because definitely he does deserve an opportunity at some point. This might be a good opportunity for him, but I just personally think Matter's only had 3 games this season, and he's dropped to 8
Usmaan,
or above for me. Yeah.
What you're saying is with Dan James not too far fetched. Depends how Oli wants to play. If he
Yeah,
wants to play
I think we're all Trafford out.
Dan James in.
Are we all
If
Trafford?
not, then
Yeah.
we might want to counter attack. We counter attack them against when we beat them.
No, if you're Old Trafford, leave Dan James. I'll allow it. I thought we were away at Stamford Bridge. Right, okay. I'd go for Matter personally. That's just me, because I think Matter after that Newcastle game just for me has to start. Like, the way he's playing at the moment, every game he's played this season, he's been at
What
8
was more impressive?
or above for me.
What was more impressive, the Paris Saint-Germain game or the Newcastle one?
Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG, mate.
Well, that's the same team then.
You might know Bastia can't play though, isn't it? So because he's banned, isn't he? So that's what I'm thinking.
In terms of that one player there, I mean, if you're playing 2 up front, is there a shout for Cavani starting the game?
I don't think Cavani's fit. No, that's what I'm basing it off.
No, but you could easily as Cavani in that game and then bring him off after an hour and bring in someone with the pace going forward like a Greenwood late on, which will destroy Chelsea. Because I'm telling you now, Cavani will have a field day against that Chelsea defence.
Yep.
You get Tellez whipping balls into that box, Rashford feeding off Cavani, and Bruno picking up the pieces. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's good that we see that. It's good that we have options. I haven't heard Adam Matic sound so enthusiastic about the Manchester United game in youngers.
Mate, I'm revved up. This is 3rd video in a row, mate. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm knowledged up to the eyeballs.
I'm with you. That's why I was here trying to talk and it's on mute and that. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep going.
I've had about 100 messages in the last 3 hours. My mind's melted.
I can imagine. But Flores, what do you reckon in terms of the front two? Because realistically speaking, I think we all probably agree that team has to start. I don't think you can take anyone out of it, really. As someone said on Twitter, it's has everyone played their way into a start? And for me personally, I don't know what you think, but you can't change it. I'd play the same team, really.
I'd play the same team. Obviously, Martial obviously is suspended. I'd go with the 210s. I'd probably play. You made a good case for Mao. I like that. And the thing is with Mao, whether he's playing with Bruno or it's Donny, he links up very well.
Yeah, I can just imagine
Matter's brain is on the wavelength of Bruno's.
And that's it.
That's
and
the thing.
You can't teach that. So it's kind of like we already know Chelsea defensively, they're not the best. Go on. You got Rashford running through.
Saying that, I think it's unfair because every time I've watched Van der Beek since he's played, he's played really well.
Yeah, but
Matter's had a full game, and I just feel like Donny's not had the opportunity yet.
What did he do in that full game, Adam? What did he do in that full game?
I know he did well. He did well.
Was easy at 9 out of.
He was, mate. I feel like Donny van der Beek got a 7 for 10 minutes. God knows what he would have done if he was on. For a full game. Yeah. So you know what? If either one of them play, I ain't got no qualms. Yeah, exactly. I've got no qualms at all.
As long as it's not Pereira and Lingard, then I'm fucking not complaining, lads.
Yeah, you know what? I said this question. I said this question before. I'd be interested to get all your opinions on it. Would Lingard even get on the bench these days?
Probably.
Flawless just mentioned the players that didn't start the PSG game, so I'm going to answer for all of you. He's surplus. He ain't getting into a Carabao Cup game, mate.
Why didn't we sell these guys? That's what
exactly. Do you know what I mean? So wait, we had Pellistri on the bench. Pellistri's on the bench now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Well. Crazy.
And that hurts me, man. Lingard, my guy as well, but that hurts you, right?
I do.
I think he had a knock. Someone told me he had a knock, so he wasn't playing. But Then again, we thought that Greenwood had a knock, but we all know that's not quite true now, don't we? So.
Suppose you brought Greenwood up anyways, and Benji, I'd love to get your thoughts on the Greenwood situation. We got a comment from James saying Greenwood is out for a bit. He thinks. I personally don't think Greenwood's injured. Like, a lot of speculations come out in the last couple of days, suggesting why he's not been in the team. If it is true, as myself and Flora spoke about yesterday, I'm completely behind Ollie's decision. Benji, what are your thoughts about the situation?
Well, obviously, we're reading a lot of reports that Greenwood's not like behaving the best and stuff like that, and I feel like the club as a whole needs to kind of like stamp it down, or whether they're going to end up getting another Ravel Morrison, God forbid.
I mentioned Ravel Morrison before, Perfect example.
Ollie needs to talk to him. Maguire definitely needs to talk to him.
Maguire?
Because he's captain.
Maguire, get Bruno to his house. Bruno will kill him.
Because he's captain, they have to. All the like players.
Yeah, senior figures, Matic and all these.
They have to speak to him, and I feel like he has a bigger ceiling than Rashford and Martial, and we need to make sure that we look after this boy and we look after this guy, because he basically saves us 70 million in the transfer market. Literally,
probably more.
Yeah, because if we get rid of him, we have to get another like top striker. There's no one that's out there that's got left and right foot like him. Not even Haaland has a right foot like Greenwood. So it's like, why don't we have to play him? If he's fit, he has to play. But if he is,
I think he is fit. I think he's not the team because of the situation.
Then he has to play. But the situation that's going on, it's like, I don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. But Man United players in the past have had problems and they're still playing. Like, I don't see the point of banishing him from the starting lineup, banishing him from the team. It's not really going to do much for him. We just have to make sure all the off-field antics leave the club, and he needs to concentrate on football. Someone has to speak to him. If not, he's going to have a very, very short career, and the way it's looking at the moment.
You know what? I heard someone brought up a great quote the other day. You know what? It sticks in your mind because of everything going on at the moment and the youngsters suffering with the schools and everything going on. But he said, it was a quote from an American years ago. He said, if I get it right, he says, it's easier to teach young brains than it is to repair adult ones.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
If you educate them early, if you educate them early, then you know what? They will learn and they will have a future. But if you don't, you'll get a Ravel Morrison, like Benji said. It's 100%. I've listened to Ravel Morrison's interviews and what he said recently. He's been on the radio a lot. And you know what? The guy would give anything back, give anything to get his career back and not make the mistake he made when he was a youngster at United. Yeah. He said he regretted absolutely everything he did. And we all know he's a journeyman now, but that kid had the talent. I remember watching him. You know what? I was lucky enough to watch him when he was at his best, when he was in that youth squad with Pogba. You know what? They were frighteningly good. He was as good as Pogba in that youth team, if not better. And wasted career. This is the level that Greenwood can be. Greenwood can be a superstar. Absolutely. So, I think we've got the right men in that dressing room to deal with Greenwood. I really do. I think Ollie is perfect for him. In a way of knowing how to actually manage your career in a strong team and take your chances when it comes around. For someone to only play the amount of games Ollie played and still be a legend, it's the mentality. That's your mentality. Yeah. You know what? You can talk about Maguire. Benji's right. All these players, the ones who are dealing with crap, you can talk to the younger lads because he's made a mistake already once this season for England. Yeah. Another one now. He needs to be spoken to and he needs to be punished, but in a way that we know is right. We don't need to be made a big scene of, but drop him and say, look, the other players are on board with what's going forward now. We need you to get on board with this as well. You have got a career and a half at this football club. You will be an absolute world-beating superstar. Definitely. If you get on board with what we're doing here now, because I hate to say it, I hate to compare the Ravel Morrison thing, but it's exactly that. He go one way or the other, mate. He could be a Cristiano Ronaldo or he could be a Ravel Morrison. It's as simple as that. Yeah, because he's got all the attributes.
So mentality. Yeah, look at Ronaldo, man. Look at his physique. Like I don't want to compare him to Rooney, but look it's true though. They're the same age basically. You never would know that. And with all due respect to Rooney, I love him. He's a legend of the club. But Rooney, like, his peak.
Rooney's a Gaza, innit?
Yeah,
Gascoigne,
exactly.
innit?
Rooney's not look after his physique.
It's a great analogy. It's a great comparison.
His legs have gone, obviously, but that's because of his mentality. The hunger's gone. You know, you can have talent.
Mate, look at all. You name the most talented and skillful world at their feet. English. Look at all the English ones, mate, in our country who had everything. The world at their feet. Look at all the English ones. Look at the English mentality and what that did to him. We just mentioned Gascoigne, Rooney.
Yeah,
these players could have been even better. George Best, I know it's Irish, but you know what, British. You look at the superstars, the ones that are remembered all around the world. They're all the foreigners, aren't they? They're the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Messi. You know what I mean? All the Spanish players.
Dele Alli, as well. Actually, a good example.
You know Dele
Alli's another one. Obviously, Josie coming on the documentary and saying he's lazy. Obviously, another saying to add to what you said. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and it's the same shit in a bit, in the sense that obviously when you're younger, you've got more opportunity to take on information and more opportunity to actually change the way, because obviously as young lads, you know, you make mistakes, you can learn from them. If you get to Lingard's age and you're putting videos out like that he did in the hotel, you're like, yo, this guy's done basically in terms of mentality. If you're doing shit like that, can you imagine Ronaldo and people like that doing shit like it, or even Lewandowski or Messi, or you know, the list that they would never do shit like that because they you know, they're so focused and it means that much to them. And Greenwood needs to have that same hunger. So
you don't hear any of them, mate, do you? None of the Spanish, German, French. There's none of them. All the superstars and the most famous players around the world. What are they? You know what I mean? You don't get many from the English, do you?
Yeah, they're absolutely clean in the sense of any issues off pitch. But like we said, he's very young. He can still learn. I do think Ollie's the right person to have there, as you mentioned, a club legend as well.
Do you know the ultimate example is Scholes, isn't it? No agent, no messing, no out every night. There you go. It's just that, innit? But it's just one of them, innit, mate? Get hold of him early, teach him the way, and you know what? We've got an absolute. You've got. You daren't say all the top accolades, but he's got the capabilities of getting them all.
I'm not gonna lie. The person who reminds me of the most flawless is right. And this is gonna be a ridiculous shout, but it's R9 Ronaldo. It has to be. Like
I get you. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not saying he's gonna be as good as him before people quote me on this, and I'm not even going to say that because R9 was an absolute different animal. But in terms of, if I can think back to my sort of childhood watching football, I can't think of anyone apart from R9 who didn't know what footy was. Like genuinely didn't know what footy was. Obviously he's got the step over as well, like R9 did. And he's cold. Like Greenwood's finishing is quality as well, but you know it is what it is. Like you already said, you know.
But I do feel sorry for him though.
What's that? Sorry.
I do feel sorry for him because you know with the English media and all this rubbish that comes out, I feel like he's being targeted at the moment. He needs to just try and stay away from the limelight as much as possible. Because there's a point they were doing the same to Raheem Sterling, and look how he's come out and he's like a world beater. Scored the most goals. I saw a stat.
I think the Raheem Sterling situation was different though, because he didn't actually technically do anything wrong. They were just targeting him because of his race. No, but Greenwood did actually do something wrong though. That's the thing, because he broke breaches. Oh yeah, absolutely. But that's the media though, isn't it?
This is what they do. They've got all the information at their feet because they all post it on social media, don't they? So all the media do now is sit back at home. Literally wait for a post to come out and then make up a story about it. Get someone else to embellish it and then build up a big world-breaking story. It's lazy reporting, but it's just been fed to him on a plate, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's no decent reporters out there anymore because no one goes out finding stuff and properly reporting it. You just follow what happens on social media, and like Benji said, then it just gets blown up to all proportions that are not even realistic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that is an issue in itself, isn't it, really? But in terms of Greenwood and the Foden situation, For me personally, I was hoping he'd learn from that and not make the same mistake, and it looks like he hasn't, which is the problem. You know, if this is the first occurrence, then you're like, okay, you know, he's gonna make these mistakes, but it's the fact that he's repeated it, which is the problem for me. But listen, let's move on from Greenwood. Let's talk about, you know, the Chelsea game in general, the approach that you guys would personally take. We don't need to go into the lineup, but in terms of what you want to see from Ollie, in terms of tactics, in terms of the system, how you want us to approach the game. Benji, we'll come to you first and foremost. I know you've already done the preview with the Chelsea guys. I'm sure they're giving you a lot of information regarding their team and obviously potentials of players starting. You know, what was the sort of consensus within that video? And obviously, what are your thoughts now after you've heard what they've said going into this game?
Well, obviously, it's what we probably already know, that the defense is crap. But the thing is, it's like, I'm in two minds. Do we sit back and pick them off, let Thiago Silva come up to the halfway line and just pick them off with pace? Or do we just dominate the whole game, dominate the ball, get Tellers up and the wing backs? I think if you counter-attack that, I think that's our best way going forward. Because the way Chelsea play, they like to get their fullbacks high. Chilwell will be going up, Reece James will be going up. And if we can lead Thiago Silva isolated to Rashford, he's not going to sleep at night at all. Literally at all. And I feel like Kovacic and Kante on the ball or whoever in the midfield, they don't really have that creativity.
Did they say Kovacic is going to play? Because he's been
they're saying Kante and Jorginho.
Yeah, Jorginho's been playing. No, Jorginho's played practically every game, hasn't he, so far?
Yeah, but they said Kovacic might play, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, hopefully,
our best hope is that Mason Mount starts on the left wing as well. But if we play counter attack, we can beat them. The same way, if we go out, we can go and pot them off the park as well. Like, we actually have the team and the midfield to play in different systems with different styles. Like, Ollie has the world at his feet with his team, so whatever he does, I'm not really fussed as long as he picks this right lineup and he actually goes with intent. Because if we attack, they cannot keep a clean sheet. No matter who they put in the back, they're not keeping a clean sheet. It's the same with us. We're not going to keep a clean sheet as well. So I think it's just best to just go, not gung-ho, but on attack mode. I think sitting back has its limitations as well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree in terms of we can definitely get them. For me personally, right, what I do not want to see is what we saw against Spurs. No, of course, we don't want to see that. But we didn't offer anything going forward. Like, even when we went forward in little moments, we still looked like we were going to score. Although we were shit for most of the game, we still looked like we could cause it. We went forward for the penalty, and we literally caught a penalty within the first 30 seconds. That's how shit Spurs' defence is. And after that moment, we literally caused them no problems. And for me personally, we need to start the game quickly and take as you said, Benji, take the game to Chelsea, because defensively they're piss poor. They're like every team in the league at the moment, to be honest. But we can easily get out of their defence. Chilwell, for me personally, is overrated defensively. You know, as every English player is in the league at the moment. He's nothing special. I'm assuming it's going to be Thiago and Zuma. Surely Rashford running behind Thiago Silva's. Surely Rashford's going to either get a penalty off him. You know, we love a penalty, don't we, at the moment, or he's going to cause him some sort of problems. Flawless, what do you reckon? How do you think we can hurt Chelsea?
What Benji said, we have both options. We can go the PSG way, where we're a little bit more conservative and catch him on the break, or we can go how we approached the Newcastle game and be a little bit more on the front foot, a little bit more aggressive. I'm legit unsure on this one. I don't know. On the Newcastle one, I was very sure go there on the front foot, treat Newcastle like the Newcastle, treat them like they're a team battling relegation, and we did that. PSG have two of the best attacking players in Europe. We're away to them. Be a little bit more conservative, soak up the pressure, catch them on the break. We did that. Thoroughly deserved the win. Now with this game against Chelsea, I'm unsure. I don't know. Do we go on the front foot? I think you know what? I think it depends on what formation he plays. So if he goes with the 3-5-2, be a little bit more conservative, catch him on the break. If it's a 4-2-3-1, be a little bit more aggressive and on the front foot. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think for me personally, it has to be the same system for me personally. Adam, what do you reckon? How do you think we should approach this game?
Yeah, that's why.
It's hard to call because Chelsea do pose a threat, and we can't allow the likes of Havertz to get hold of the ball. Jorginho, Pulisic, all these players that can destroy our defence.
Yeah.
So straight away you sort of go into a sense of, you know what, this is a very, very similar team to what we played against in PSG in the way they play. It's all in the top end heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The back end is there for the taking. I just think the longer the game goes on, the more chance that we've got of taking them. And like I said, their defence gives me zero concerns whatsoever in terms of us going forward. It's just what and who plays at the back. It's all about that. It's all about...
You lot got
just had
jokes.
to
I
play
love
that on cue. Yeah, but no, get into it. I look at it. Fucking earphone.
It's all right, man.
I want to hear Flawless's laugh when I put some new Masterclass slang in. No, it's. I look at it. I go, right. Okay, wing backs, dangerous, very dangerous for Chelsea. Do we try and push them back and defend from the front, or do we sort of try and be solid and give no simple mistakes? Because when we don't make mistakes, we don't lose. United beat themselves up every time by making mistakes. That's who beats us. It's us all the time. Mistakes, every time we make a mistake, it goes in. PSG didn't look like scoring a goal until we had a blackout in mid-air from Martial. And you know what I mean? It's just one of them. So do we keep it tight, keep it safe, control the game? Because I think we can control the game if we're solid at the back. The question is, when Maguire comes in, who drops out? You upset the flow. People are going to be putting pressure on him to bring a Pogba or Van der Beek in. Do we keep McTominay in there again?
Do you think Pogba, like I've heard someone else say in the chat actually, if it's Akili, I've got it here actually, saying, do you think Ollie's going to drop Pogba? This will be 3 games in a row that Pogba's starting the bench. Do you think Ollie's going to want to do that, or what do you reckon?
Oh, well, Ollie's going to be looking at it going, I've won 2 games in a row with Pogba on the bench. Am I worried about playing Pogba, or am I worried about my United career? That's what he's got to be thinking. So for me, if he drops him to the bench again, then I don't think anyone would be surprised, because we just won 2 games without him.
Yeah.
I know he's come on and he has played his part. And the best bit about Pogba at the moment is he's not moaning. You can see the videos and the pictures in the training ground. He's happy and he's come on the pitch and he's been effective both times. He's just come on and done his Pogba thing. You know what? That's the attitude I like to see. I ain't got any issues at all with that at all. There's nothing poisonous about Pogba whatsoever. Everyone loves him at the training ground. We just struggle to find the right formation to play him, let's be honest. Like we have done with a lot of players. We talked about Mata before. It's the same for Pogba. He's always been better on the left, but that brings in the 4-3-3. Can you adapt to 4-3-3 into this team that's playing right now? Because with that, you could easily play Bruno, Pogba and Van der Beek with ease. It just depends how defensive you want to be and how worried you are about that back line. I think it's going to be 3 at the back, same formation as PSG. I really do.
Yeah, I think so.
I do feel like we've got wing backs there that I know can tackle high and win the ball high.
Yeah.
So I think we can push Chelsea back and nullify their threat down the wings.
Yeah.
And then I think Fred and McTominay can handle the likes of Havertz, Jorginho, all these players. You know, like Pulisic, I've got no qualm, I've no issues. We've just come up against 2 of the best forwards in the world. Yeah. 3 if you were Di Maria. You know what I mean? He's still got something, hasn't he? But and we've been able to handle them. We know as that combative 3 at the back with the 2 holders in the middle, with Bazaka and Tellez covering in, that we can handle any team in the world. So for me, I think it has to be the 3 at the back. Don't make a mistake and you'll win this game. It's as simple as that for United. You will win this game. Mate, I've already given my score prediction for this game and it's mental. You won't believe it, but I just don't see.
I was about to say we're going to get to score predictions. Can
I just touch on what Adam said quickly? In terms of the formation that he's saying, I think if Van der Beek and Bruno play, and Fred and McTominay, I think we run all over Chelsea. I think one of the things we have to do is stop Jorginho playing.
Yeah,
if we can
defend high
and Fernandes with the energy
pressing, with Rashford,
they'll struggle a lot. I think they'll struggle a lot.
Yeah, if you defend Chelsea high, it does nullify a lot of their feed, like teams do against us. That's what the cardinal sin playing Pogba as a holding midfielder. Takes him out of the game, brings on the criticism of people saying he's crap. Play him in the right position, and it's a different game altogether. He's not disciplined enough to play defensive midfield for me. He really isn't.
What do you guys think of this comment here? We've got East Sleep United repeat. I'm trying to remember who it is off the top of my head. I know who it is, but I can't get my name out. But I think Pogba comes in now. He played well each time for me. Matic and Pogba for Fred and Mux. So for me, personally, I don't agree with that. Benji, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't agree with that too. Of course,
Rusty, yeah, of course.
But for me, this is the game that Pogba has to play. We need someone from deep to be able to control passes. I don't think Chelsea. I think if you have the right formation, like Adam said, Pogba can do well. If you have McTominay, Fred, and Pogba in the midfield, let them two do the running for Pogba. Pogba, Bruno, and Rashford just go and do everything they want with talent. It's like, if you put Pogba back, then he doesn't deserve to play. But if he's higher up the pitch, he has to play for me.
To be honest, Pogba could obviously I'll pass it to you, Flows. Pogba could potentially come in for Flawless.
You know what? I can ball, but I'm not no 10. I'm a 6. I'll stay in front of the back 4, innit?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you sit in front of me, Flawless, mate. I'm the centre back, so you can get past me.
Benji's a striker, and that's the job done. We've got the spine sorted up at CDM as well. But listen, so I was going to say Pogba could technically come in for Martial. Not that I personally would do that, but it would be interesting to see him in a position that he has got the license to go forward and hurt the opposition. But what do you reckon, Flores? Both the guys want us to press high and cause them problem, in particular Jorginho. And to add to that is they haven't got a goalkeeper in there either. They've got a technical director coming out of retirement. So, surely we've got to at least try to put them under some form of pressure, because them man must be desperate if they're getting check out of retirement, surely.
Yeah, true. It goes to show how highly Lampard rates Kepa. But is Mendy not fit? Can he not play?
Mendy did.
No, he's fit.
Yeah, so Mendy will be playing. Like I said, it depends on the options. I like the ideas of two 10s. I like the idea of Bruno and Pogba, or Bruno and Donny, or Bruno and Mato. I personally, I don't know. Like, for once, I'm actually stumped. I'm like, who do you go with? I'd probably go with Bruno and Mato. That'd be the two I'd go with. And then play Rashford up top. This is in a 3-5-2. And obviously Fred and McTominay in there as the legs. Because when you put energy around Mato, plays well.
Mata will run it, man. For me personally, I think Mata will run that game.
But the thing is, the options are so good. If we did say the two 10s and it was Bruno and Donny, or it was Bruno and Pogba, I wouldn't be upset. Same way if we decide to go Bruno just in the 10 and it was Rashford and Greenwood, or Rashford and Cavani. They're all good options. It just depends how exactly you want to set up. So
Flawless on a good point. For once, we actually have a situation where we're having a match people, we're actually thinking about the starting line and what it can be.
Yes.
Before, we all know what the lineup is going to be.
It's going to be
too predictable.
We don't know anymore.
And plus, we was dreading it. Like, if someone got injured, it's like, you're going to play Pereira. You know what I'm saying? Out wide right or something like that.
Lord have mercy on our souls.
Here comes a flawless laugh. You mentioned Pereira.
About 70% of the season. Oh, God. Listen, let's go into Chelsea threats, and then obviously we'll wrap it up with the score prediction. Our flawless is just pissing himself.
That's what I'm here for, man. That's what I'm here for.
You love to see it. Oh, God. For me personally, it's an absolute no-brainer. Timo Werner for me. I am worried about him running at Maguire. Like, you saw his goal again the other day. He was absolutely, well, he scored 2, didn't he? Both very, very well taken goals, man. You would say individual goals to an extent in terms of individual skill. He's going to be a problem. I know we're going to say, we just dealt with Neymar and Mbappe, but this Man United team, them mans were up for that PSG game. They knew everyone was writing them off. We're kind of going into this game with a bit more optimism off the back of that, but also thinking that we're 50-50 with Chelsea. I think even their fans would probably agree that this could go anywhere, really. Adam, what do you reckon in terms of the threats from them? I think Werner for me and Pulisic. I know Havertz is a quality player and he can definitely cause us problems, but I think Fred and McTominay, I'm hoping I don't jinx it, but they'll deal with him.
Yeah, no, exactly the same, mate. You know the ones in that Chelsea team. Werner, he's just one of them strikers. He's going to score. I expect him to score probably tomorrow. On Saturday.
Yeah.
I just feel like what we've got, sort of outweighs what they've got in terms of the scare factor for their back lines. I think our defence can cope with the majority of them, not all of it, but I do not think that they can cope with ours. So I just feel like Werner, I love Pulisic, is just crazily good. He's ridiculous, man. The guy's just pure quality. Jorginho, like we touched on before, nullify him and you stop pretty much 70% of Chelsea straight out. So I just feel like if you can sort of take care of Jorginho, Pulisic and Werner, I know Havertz has got quality oozing out of him as well, but I just feel like they're the main players for them. They're the key for Chelsea, and I just think United have got what it takes to nullify him. I just feel like Tellez coming in as a breath of fresh air, Axel back. You know what? De Gea looking like he's back on form. That's massive for us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's massive.
Definitely.
He's
been good.
Well, man. He's been
You know what? When Axel went up for a header and he glanced at Mbappe and the ref gave a foul, even though it was never a foul. I heard De Gea shouting Axel back in. I could hear him shouting Axel. When Luke Shaw made the mistake, it's good that he has regained his form, and he's been good from the top of the season. Even though we conceded fair goals, he's been good.
He had his meltdown against playing for Spain, didn't he? He can stick to doing that for Spain, and we're all right, isn't it? After that Spurs game, something's gone down. There has been one of them meetings between the whole squad. Something's gone down. Something's changed men-wise. You know what I mean? You can tell. You know when you can tell that you've basically been read your rights. It's now or never.
It's about
because
time.
How much more can these players expect us to support them when they know they're the highest paid squads in the league and we're not getting anywhere near the top? Yep. You know what? The penny has to drop with these players sometime. Absolutely. And you're not bringing in the likes of Cavani and the experience and the expectations that he brings. And we've seen the videos of him talking to the players, fitting right in. This is what Zlatan did. When Zlatan arrived, he said, I knew I'd arrived at a big club. He embraced it. Because Pogba didn't say boo to a goose when Zlatan was there. He demanded respect. This is the likes of Cavani. You know what I mean? Bruno's levels. You spread that through the team, start it building, and that's what all the players will start to work towards. Because look at it now. Every single one of them, in every position, from that finishing team that we had playing against Leicester or into the Europa League, that we all said was our best 11, not one of them positions is safe. Not one. In any position on the pitch is safe now. You cannot say or be surprised if a whole 11 change. You look at it from the back, you've got Henderson, De Gea, no issue. But Xhaka's got to be looking at the likes of Brandon Williams now, Tellez and Shaw. You know what? Axel's come back. Maguire now just looked at us beat PSG and play our best defensive game of the season without him. Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's no foregone conclusion. The midfield, take your pick. Yep. You could have anything. And you know what? None of us would be surprised. And then the forward line, well, you know what? I'd be happy if any one of them were playing. You know, we're talking about trying to squeeze Mata in. Squeeze him in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like he's replacing one. He's got to get ahead of three to get in the team.
I can go one better, Adam. We're talking about putting Pogba into the team.
It's
the guy for any team in the world. Like, we're thinking, should he come in, should he not?
Exactly.
It's crazy, man.
There's a mentality change. The problem is, we know consistency-wise, this team has got a problem. That's the only thing we're missing. Because we know we can beat anyone.
Yes.
We've beaten everyone.
We have.
But if someone said to me, we shouldn't be celebrating this PSG win so much. It should be like what United's expected to do. It should be no surprise that we can beat a PSG. It should be no surprise that we can go and beat how many times we beat Chelsea and City last year. Yeah. You know what I mean? We beat all the best last year. We beat all the best last year. So
that did really irritate me though, that people were like, why are we celebrating the PSG? I had it before on the live stream I was doing. You shouldn't be celebrating the PSG. Of course you do. PSG win. What do you mean you don't celebrate the PSG?
Celebrate it.
Oh, PSG were weakened.
Benji,
blah, blah, blah. All this nonsense. Oh, is this you, Benji?
Yeah.
You're my guy, Benji, as well, innit? Go on, Benji.
What did I say?
Benji said to me, right, and I want to hear your last thoughts. Listen, obviously you guys know money out, but Benji said to me, "Oh, Ollie had a tactical masterclass now, did you, Usmaan? He's a tactical genius." Listen, Ollie had a tactical masterclass against PSG, and that is just for that one game. No, I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah, this
anything
is
further. That one
this
game.
is that's it. This is my point, though, that people can't seem to, because people are so, if they're Ollie in, they can't
Exactly. You
criticize
can't
it,
be ha-
and then
exactly.
and then when you're Ollie out, you
can't
can't
be
praise
happy.
him.
Exactly.
No, give that man his flowers for that game.
Yeah, Benji, give him his flowers. Give him his
flowers, but Sunday's another flower to be given out.
Sunday,
is it Saturday or Sunday? I thought it was Saturday.
I'm not sure.
Saturday 5:30.
Saturday at 5:30.
Yeah,
if we get beat Saturday 5:30, I'll be on this show afterwards, criticizing him if he gets it wrong and criticizing the players. Same way, if we play well, I'll be here praising him. I'm balanced. Like, if you play well, I praise you. If you do badly, I will criticize. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be all these agendas and people just stuck like, oh, I can't praise him because we beat PSG. We just beat PSG. They're the Champions League finalists, you know. And we just beat them
in their backyard as well.
In their backyard.
More as well, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It should have been more. But listen,
I agree.
Just to finish off, Benji, just to get your thoughts on mentality, and then we'll do a score prediction in it. In terms of mentality, me and Flo spoke about this yesterday. That, epitomizing what Manchester United is all about. Twan Sabi's comments after the game. PSG a big club, albeit Manchester United a bit bigger. And obviously, as Adam said, after the sort of a Spurs game, it seems like there has been a mentality shift. Yes, it's only 2 games. Of course, we've got to do this in 5, 10, 15 games before we to even bat an eyelid and start to think, there might be some sort of change. Because I'm not going to go down that route of, we beat these lot, we're fantastic again. I'm not going down that route. You have to do it for 10 games on the bounce, and I'll start thinking, fair play. We might actually be changing here. Listen, where are you at the moment in terms of mentality in the squad? Do you think that we're going into this game with the right mentality, off the back of that game, Benji? And do you think that's going to carry on in the performance as well?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of confidence at the moment. We haven't lost a lot of confidence. We haven't really lost. I don't think we lost last month, which is a bonus. The one thing that Adams did say is that the Cavani signing was such a key signing for Manchester United. I feel like him in the changing room, it's like there's someone else that people can look up to. Like, he's been there, he's done it, he's won trophy after trophy after trophy, and he's coming to Manchester United, and he's probably worked harder than a lot of the other guys have in pre-season because he wants to come and play. He wants to set that standard, and that's what we need. Van der Beek as well is a winner. He's won a few trophies with Ajax. Bruno Fernandes is a winner as well. I feel like slowly but surely the mentality of the squad is changing. If you get 2 or 3 more solid winners, you never know what's going to happen. The only worry I have with this team is that, like Adam says and Flora says all the time, is consistency. We do not have that consistency, right? For example, we could beat PSG amazing. Then against Chelsea on Sunday, we're flat. Then against Leipzig, we beat them 4-0. Then next week against Arsenal, we're flat. Or we lose against Leipzig, then we go beat Arsenal. That's where I am with the squad. I don't know what to expect. Are we going to win?
Yeah.
Are we going to play well? It's just the consistency just never there. That's my only big problem with the manager and this squad. But slowly but surely, hopefully we can turn it around. In terms of the Chelsea game, we should go in full of confidence, man. There's no reason why we shouldn't win that game. But all he has to show to us, the fans, this is his job. His job is to prove to the fans why you should be in the job.
Yeah, no,
that's what every manager is. Like, he has to prove to us by a solid result against Chelsea. If you beat Chelsea, Leipzig, and Arsenal, everyone forgets about everything that's happened in the last few weeks. If you lose, I
gotta put this comment on because I haven't got a clue what ads is on about. Yeah, Usmaan the type of guy to steal sports Chris and then offer him on. Where what have I done?
Yeah, serious. That's not in your character. Not really. Shout out ads every time.
Bro, who's Crystal man? Oh God,
taking people's food.
Sorry, Benji. I just seen it come up and I was just laughing to myself. Like, you're raw, man. I wouldn't even offer you one. I steal him and not offer him one. You got me all wrong here, mate. I ain't sharing no food, yo. But Benji, listen, I completely agree with what you're saying in terms of the mentality. Benjamin is also laughing, and that's gonna be Benji's spider. But no, I do agree with you. I think the consistency is a problem, man. Like, for me personally, right? I know I probably shouldn't ask this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. If you had a choice, right, to win the Chelsea game or the RB Leipzig game, which one are you taking and why? I know which one I'm taking straight away, but Flores will come to you.
Yeah, Chelsea game.
100%.
Yeah, without question. Chelsea game.
Listen, I feel like everyone's gonna say the same thing. And has anyone got any sort of opposing sort of thoughts?
No, it has to be Chelsea.
No.
It's full of group chats on Twitter, man. We can't lose.
Just adding the fact as well. I'm looking for us to win them both. It's like, all right, let's go in it and play these teams.
We have to be Arsenal next week, man. I can't be dealing with
they added. You know why we have to be Arsenal? Because when it comes to social media, next to us, they're the most shameless fan base in it. Like our fan base is shameless. I love it. Like we tell everybody to come outside. Chung had a good 20 minutes at left back last season. We were like Alphonso Davies, come outside. The next Marcelo.
It's true, man. I forgot.
Yeah, shameless. Arsenal are the same. Arsenal. The thing is, Arsenal are the same. No, this is the same team. We just finished 8th. Go to Arsenal Twitters. These men were doing videos for Partey. Aubameyang signed the deal. They thought they were back in the big time.
Yeah.
Oh God! And then they just doing front flips over some next team in Blue Thursday. But listen, let's wrap it up with the score. I'll start us off because I don't have confidence going to this game, but I personally think we will get a result this game. I just think on the back of our performance, we have too many options in midfield. There's no excuse for fatigue because if there's a player is tiring at 60th minute, we can bring Pogba on, we can bring Van de Beek on, even Mata. So for that reason, I think we're going to win and get a clean sheet, which might baffle people.
Wow,
I'm going to say
confident. Jeez,
I don't know. I think basically what my thought is, I think it's going to be 1-0 for a long period of the game, and we'll score the second and just kill it and late on again. That's what I think is going to happen. I just think it's going to be 1-0 for a long period of the game, and it's just going to be a tight game, and then we'll just win it 2-0. So that's my thought. Adam, what do you reckon?
Oh God, that was ill timed, wasn't it?
God, basically what he said is I'm chatting complete shit.
What do you think, Adam?
Yeah. No, that doesn't mean it's going to be a dull score draw.
Wait, ads, you're watching this. Ads, you're in the comments watching this, my young G. Please clip that. Please clip that moment. Please clip that ads.
Hey man, I've got businesses to run. I'm a tired man. It's hard work, this shit. But no, I'm really looking forward to this game, guys. I don't know about you. I just my score prediction is 4-2 United.
What?
Seriously.
I would love that.
Seriously, 4-2. I mean, to be honest, man, is anyone going to be surprised with that scoreline if it comes through after what we've seen already? I just like I said, I know they've got a threat, but our threat in terms of balance compared to their defence and our defence, their attack and our attack is greater than theirs. I really do think that their defence is so poor compared to ours, which is just on the up a little bit, and our forward line, well, yeah, I think we'll get 2 penalties for Bruno. Standard. And I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like Rashford and a late one from Pogba. That's how I'm feeling it. Yeah. I feel Pogba's coming to the party. And it ain't no Thomas party either, Arsenal fans. There's only one party, and that's us beating you guys in a few weeks as well.
Oh, God, hopefully, man. 4-2
it is. 4-2.
To be honest, that would be beautiful for the fancy football points as well. Benji, what are you saying? I've got Bruno in it, for this.
3-1 Man United.
Oh, wow, bloody hell. If we lose this, we're getting the smoke. That's all I know. Don't clip these scores up, ads. What are you saying?
You know what? I'm going to go, even though the Premier League has been high scoring, I'm going to say 2-1 United. I reckon because it's a big game. Both teams might be a little bit more. Nah. Both teams might be a little bit more cautious because it's a big game. Ollie don't want to lose. Lampard is like that with the Chelsea fans at the minute. He's not going to want to lose. So I think it'll be a little bit more.
He's under pressure as well.
So obviously they had the result against Southampton, the result against West Brom. They just drew midweek. So 2-1 United. I'm going for United.
That Flawless has done the classic there. So it's like you've got really good forwards, you got crap defenses, keepers are not on form. Yeah, 0-0.
Hey, it's facts, yo. You get them once. Hey,
it, 5-4.
Here's the thing, though. We just played. The thing is, we just played PSG. No one would have thought our defense would have held up. Look what happened.
Yeah,
These
Mbappe
things
and
happen.
Neymar didn't score.
Never
you know,
looked in
but,
trouble.
I'm saying Neymar had what, one shot on target. Mbappe had one shot on target. What would the odds have been on that? We were supposed to get battered.
Yeah,
4-5-0.
To be honest, right, all I know is, you know, Martial's got more goals than Kane and, you know, the rest of the man in the Champions League in it, so it's all good. Listen, boys, there's a massive thank you, as always. I'd clip up all the score predictions, because if they come true, I'm sure the boys will want it, especially the, you know, especially the 5-4 that I've gone for. Listen, hopefully 5 goals for Bruno, 4 for Werner, because that would be beautiful fantasy football. And fuck knows, I don't know, I don't have any of the main out players. I think I've got a couple of Chelsea players in defence, so hopefully they get all assists. But anyways, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm sure these boys are going to go have a fucking nap because they've had about 10 shows. Make sure you show them love. Like they've already said, they've done 2 shows prior. So make sure you go and appreciate them for the graft. Subscribe to us, myself and Benji. It's been your host, Usmaan. Benji looks very happy to be done with the show also.
I'm tired.
Fucking everyone's tired.